Hello, young folks and folkettes. Those are my new gender neutral terms. I'm just kidding about that. If you don't watch this channel, I'm not a libtard. But yeah, I'm about to show you guys Steven Crowder via Sneako. Sneako's been talking about breaking out of the Matrix. He's been going through that like 8th grade Steven Crowder phase that we all had. But then we grew out of it because we realized he was just pandering. He was doing the exact thing that he was talking down. But Sneako, at the age of 23, he's going down this road. Back in the 8th grade, they say life comes in cycles. I guess this is what they meant, folks. So lately, Sneako's been becoming kind of a piece of poop, a poopy YouTuber, and he's with the Steven Crowder train. He's trying to join the Daily Wire, I guess. He saw that Jordan Peterson joined the Daily Wire, and now he wants to be a part of it. Now, when I was younger, I wasn't even sure what the fuck was going on. So I was one of the little blind munchkins following around Steven Crowder saying, oh, he's so valid, so facts, so logic. But then I came to understand that he is literally a copy and paste of the leftists that perpetuate a bunch of retardation in their communities. He does the same exact thing, but for the right. And I'm not trying to go on no destiny. If you choose not to follow, then you're just a sheep because you chose one of the options presented. I'm not trying to go on one of those destiny rants, but Steven Crowder is not an intellectual. He often just does exactly what he says you shouldn't do. And by that I mean, like, you can see a lot of fallacies, logical fallacies in his content. So I understand that Steven Crowder is just trying to make content. At the end of the day, she says in that video something along the lines of, why are you even here if no one invited you? I'm not mad at Steven Crowder. I am mad at Sneako, but I'm not mad at Steven Crowder. He's just trying to create some content, and he's trying to engage in a dialogue. While he poses it as a dialogue, it's really one-sided because most of the time people do not bring him facts that can counter his, and most people don't know how to engage in a debate. But for people that are intelligent that watch this content, we usually, even if I'm not included, you can at least see that when he tries to debate certain points, he will fall back onto what he tells people not to fall back onto. Now, that doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go into the video debunking his side of things. I'm sorry if you want me to go in on Steven Crowder, but that's not what this video is about. I'm just gonna show you guys some proof that rape culture is actually a thing based on Steven Crowder's terms.
Wait, but
I didn't say that.
okay, well, what's your question?
Well, that's the idea of rape culture. The idea that rape is, and you sort of echo that. I want to make sure we both agree to start with that it's a society or a culture at large where rape is either promoted, encouraged, or
Chad, who do you think is going to win this argument
tolerated
or debate?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't agree.
Let's establish the encouraged, tolerated, or perpetuated points. So encouraging rape would be, there is a group of people that is actually perpetrating mass rapes, or just maybe a small group of people that are perpetuating rapes. I do not believe that that is a thing. I don't think that rape culture is real on the basis that a lot of these people come and provided. Like I said, I don't acknowledge them as the most intelligent people or the most prepared people. But perpetuated, mostly not. It's on very small instances in very small cases to where, like, how can you define that as a culture? You know, like, of course it happens. It happens actually a little bit to where it's prominent. You can't say that rape is not perpetuated. There's so many cases of like just terrible families, and it was really weird. Like, for example, Mr. Ballin has a pretty popular video out, and there's this case of like, it's like a cult kind of a religious family, but basically the son the father is basically they think that the son is going to be like the next coming of a messiah. It sounds like fake, it sounds like something straight out of a fiction book. That's why we like Mr. Ballin's content. But yeah, they basically perpetuated rape in that family, and there's a lot of cases that happen just like that. It's strange, but I don't think that can be used to define rape culture. Now, on the next basis, encouraged and perpetuated are kind of the same. Tolerated is a different story. There's a lot of cases where rape is tolerated, and in fact, I think that Crowder would now agree that with the way that liberals view the law, they let out a lot of people very early. There are a lot of predators, sexual predators. Do you know why we register them as sex offenders? Like Sneako, he's so stupid. This is part of what Sneako did. He said that like when that girl said that there are a lot of rapists out walking the streets free, he like denied it blatantly. It was like that's pretty weird. I think Crowder knows for a fact, and I'm not trying to say that he is on the side of rape culture being a real thing and not a myth, but there's without a doubt rapists, sexual predators that are walking around free, and it's kind of strange because you're like, wait a minute, wasn't that like 3 years ago that you like fucked that little kid? I live in Florida, and there's literally like this trailer park full of just sex offenders, and I understand that a lot of sex offenders are not actually rapists, but a lot of them are. We definitely do tolerate rapists. It's just a natural part of life. I don't think it's a part of culture being perpetuated. We tolerate rapists because they did that and they are alive. They like Crowder presented it. He said you can either have empathy or you can be castrated. Or not, you can be castrated, or you could be on the side of like castrate the rapist, kill them, whatever, you know. On a scale though of a society in the West, rape is definitely looked down on. If you were in India and you said rape culture was a thing, then of course it's a thing. Definitely in India, rape culture is a thing. No one is denying that. No one would ever deny that. The caste system literally perpetuates rape. It's not even a joke. But that girl is a Westerner sitting there crying. Now, I'm not going to talk about her experience because I don't know her. But she was very emotional, and that's not a way that you should approach an argument or a debate, whatever you want to call it. So, that was the point of perpetuating or encouraging. I believe them to both be kind of similar. Let's say that, because at the end of the day, people that are encouraging it are the ones that are perpetuating it. There's a lot of anecdotal things you could say, but for one, here's some solid proof that it's definitely a thing in the West, that rape culture, it may not actually be a myth, and it may be pretty solid. So I'm about to show you something that if you didn't know was a thing before this video, then you are the latter. You are a innocent little flower, and people who did know what this is, you are a highway. You are literally a highway. What I'm about to show you is rated R, M for mature. This is a porn aggregator. Now, a porn aggregator is basically the same thing as an aggregator for any type of site. This will bring you the most amazing and wonderful, but also the darkest and most terrible results. This one covers all the bases: tolerated, perpetuated, not encouraged though. Only Epstein and other sexual cult type activities in the West are where you could say they're encouraging rape. But this is a very strange place indeed. And Crowder, I don't even know if you knew this existed, so maybe this is why you were acting so ignorant. But yeah, you go to the aggregator, go to the very, very bottom. This is something that they want to hide because this is a strange niche. These types of people are taboo. They're looked down on. It's weird. If you're into this type of thing, you're a sick fuck. That's all we have to say about you. So here is I'm pulling up on it right now. You guys could read some of the names of these sites and some of the genre that are available. So look at the extreme porn sites. Now let's just pause it right here. Let me read this. Porn dude, explain the extreme category. Can I see fake rape porn and roleplay forced sex videos? The world is a scary place where justice is rare and immorality rules. These barely legal websites of uncensored reality content are not for the faint of heart. You will see some truly fucked up shit like brutal car crash accidents in traffic captured on CCTV, ending in fire, burning explosions, unwanted cruel war violence, graphic content, bribed cope, dumb 18-year-olds, clips of crazy drunk. Yeah, so you can obviously see what I'm getting at here. Now, Crowder, I'm not gonna quote Alex Jones, but this is supposed to be your polywag moment. I don't know, it was P something, where it was like some famous lawyer who fucking wins that in a dramatic fashion or some shit like that. But yeah, that site is pretty strange. I don't know if you knew what a porn aggregator was, but there's definitely a public pool or demand for that type of content, Crowder. I think it is very strange. We all can acknowledge that it's really weird, but there are actually men out there who tolerate rape, and they in a way that kind of perpetuates it. Here's an example of how these sites were somewhat harmful. You see, back in the day, it was like Jordan Peterson was talking about this. I only say Jordan Peterson because I refuse to dead name. I refuse to use someone's new name and new identity. I'm sorry, I can't respect what you did, Jordan Peterson. But he was talking about the fact that there were videos on the Pornhub, one of the most popular sites, and basically in 2018 they did this whole thing where they purged the site of millions of videos of rape and child pornography. I don't know why you have such an innocent outlook on the world and you believe because there is a justice system, therefore justice is served. No, Crowder, you're acting ignorant. You know that there are so many people who get away with rape merely because they had more money for a better defense. They paid off the person that they assaulted. There's an unprecedented amount of that in the West currently. That's why these people are so triggered, because there's definitely rape going on, and no one's denying that. The problem is when you try and equate it to culture. I can understand why Crowder would say it is a myth, because in some senses, a lot of these instances where people bring up rape culture, it's like, no, that's not culture, honey. I'm sorry, but culture is when there's like it's an effect that resonates with a bunch of people in a part of a group, and this group that you're designating rapist actually has a lot of ways in which they are also not. So you can't say that they're perpetuating or encouraging rape. But then when you look at these sites and you see that people, millions, hundreds of thousands of people are viewing these strange niche videos, now you may say, Joel, you just showed me extreme porn sites. That's not rape culture, but I read off what they have in them, and you can take the liberty to go through these sites and look at the tags. There's one called Motherless. You should really look at the tags there. It's vile and despicable and disgusting. It's so strange, man. I don't know. I'm not giving credit to any of these people that like this type of content or like have this types of fantasies. It's male and female. It's not just rape is not a thing always perpetrated by males. And then also I feel as if this is kind of a conjecture, I guess, but I feel as if men report their rapes a lot less than females, so the numbers are misconstrued already. That's the thing with quoting statistics. A lot of statistics are you can use them to kind of serve a purpose if you don't actually take a survey of a diverse group. I don't know. I can't tell you. Do you guys think that what I presented was proof enough? I think it is. I think that there's definitely a rape culture in the West. It's kind of weird. It's actually really weird. Epstein, and then just the problems that we still have with slavery. One of the modern forms of slavery is the sex trade, and a lot of these girls are not consensually a part of that. It's really terrible. It's really strange. Washington D.C. was once the capital of sex workers, as far as illegal, like young minors that had been in the sex trade, unconsensually kidnapped, to some extent you could say. That place where all of our politicians are, the corrupt politicians at least, they had the highest rate. So they changed that when they got that island, and Epstein, he was flying out bitches from all over the world that were 12 years old and having sex parties with a bunch of little kids, I guess. I don't know. I have no clue. But yeah, rape culture is most definitely a real thing. Not in a lot of walks. In a lot of ways you could deny it, but there's damning evidence that there is a group of people who would like to have this sort of thing in front of them so that they could enjoy it. Well, Steve boy, I hope you sure are convinced and stop being so cynical, because for so many people to walk up to you and confront you, and for you to see no value in that alone, shows what type of character you are. Steven, I know if you were being genuine, that you would agree with the point I made in this video as far as the adult entertainment industry, and what Jordan Peterson said back in the day about Pornhub's purge of millions of content and new verification system. Well, Steven, I hope you have a good day. And Sneako, you sure need to get your act together, boy, because the way you be talking these days, that's almost like you done lost it your way. You poor boy. I hope the Lord can help you out of whatever trials and tribulations you'll be stumbling into these days. Oh, I can see how the mighty have fallen. That's about it for this video. Please leave a like and subscribe.